Growing up, we all had our favorite Sunday morning shows we couldn't wait to watch. Whether it be SpongeBob SquarePants, The Regular Show, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, Barney, or the Teletubbies. The last two I still don't get. These shows told us, yes, it is officially the weekend and we don't have to go to school today. One of my favorite Saturday shows was Superhost. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Superhost.
Give me that shoe!
Still makes me laugh today. This is where I remember seeing my first Godzilla movie. What Godzilla movie was, I can't tell you, but I was hooked. He was bigger than life, and back then a dude in a rubber suit fighting other dudes in rubber suits while destroying miniature versions of cities was to me like watching the CGI effects in movies today. Every Saturday I would turn on Superhost hoping that it would be a Godzilla movie, and disappointed when it wasn't. I even had a plastic Godzilla model, all green, that I built. My brother had King Kong, cool model, but as we all know from the newer movies, Godzilla is the stronger kaiju. With all that being said, I want to share with you my top 5 Godzilla battles. And away we go! At number 5 we have Godzilla vs. Kong, 2021. This is on my list because I think they did a good job with the Tokyo fight scene. Kong with his stone axe and Godzilla with just his attitude, tale of death and bad breath. This was an epic slugfest without a doubt and played very well on the big screen. When Kong comes up through the big hole in the earth and they first clash, I was blown away. I also love that they stuck to tradition of unnecessarily destroying anything within a 2-mile radius of the fight. At number 4, Destroy All Monsters, 1968. The final battle of this movie is a Royal Rumble of monster fights. And by Royal Rumble, I mean Godzilla and Posse even gang up on King Ghidorah in the final fight and whoop some alien multi-headed butt. The fight featured Gorosaurus, Barney before his morning coffee, Angirius, probably the most authentic historical depiction of a real dinosaur, Kumonga, Varan, Manila, not Milli Vanilli, Rodan, Mothra, pre-evolution into the actual moth, and my man Godzilla. Son of a Godzilla is also in the movie for what I can only guess was comedy relief or a marketing thing to sell more Godzilla merchandise. Even with the awesome amount of monster power, King Ghidorah gives them a run for their money, but in the end it's just too much for the king. At number 3, Godzilla vs. Megalon, 1973. The tag team event of Godzilla and Jet Jaguar versus Megalon, and the tag team event of Godzilla and Jet Jaguar versus Megalon and Gigan was epic. Jet Jaguar is getting his butt kicked by Megalon and Gigan. Then Godzilla shows up and takes on both of these posers with a proper beating. As usual, the good guys start getting their butts kicked, but are able to overcome the overwhelming force of Megalon and Gigan and eventually win the battle. The final fight scenes are some of my favorite. First, Jet Jaguar breaks Megalon's arm, proceeds to throw him in the air like a clay pigeon that Godzilla proceeds to blow out of the sky with his nuclear breath, and then Jet Jaguar holds up Gigan and Godzilla performs the greatest tail-balancing drop kick ever. I love this movie. At number 2, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, 2019. Godzilla and King Ghidorah in the 2019 film Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Overall, I really enjoyed the reboot of the Godzilla franchise and enjoyed the first 3 movies, Godzilla, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong. The last King Kong movie should have never been made in my opinion. But I digress. My favorite battle in this movie is the end battle with King Ghidorah in Boston and the destruction of Fenway Park. Suck it, Red Sox. Go Guardians. There were a couple of good fight scenes, but the part that stood out to me most was the ending when Godzilla proceeds to go nuclear and blast King Ghidorah with his excessive amount of stored up nuclear energy. He fries the king's wings and then proceeds to crush his chest with a curb stop. The coup de grace of this was him eating the king's head and then belching. Gotta love that stuff. That's good movie. And here we're at my final one. At the number 1, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, 1974. Not that, movie and, the one Godzilla versus Kong. We're talking the original. The reason this is my favorite battle is because as a kid, seeing the king of the monsters go toe-to-toe with a larger-than-life Dinobot with an arsenal of weapons that could level an entire army was epic. My favorite part of the movie is where Godzilla is just getting the tar beat out of him by Mechagodzilla and shoots Godzilla with a bunch of spiky finger rockets. Godzilla goes down in a heap, and you're thinking, hey, he ain't getting up from this. But then all of a sudden he digs deep like the Karate Kid in the last fight scene. Stands up, shakes it all off, stores up a huge amount of electricity, which propels all the metal finger stakes out of his body, zaps Godzilla with an electromagnetic pulse, and proceeds to execute a Mortal Kombat fatality move by ripping off Mechagodzilla's head. Absolutely priceless. So that is my top 5 Godzilla fights. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed putting it together and enjoying watching ASG for the last 4 years.